Did everyone seriously think I forgot to play V series? Absolutely not. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Mr. here. Today I am back to cover Witches in V 2024. Happy New Year to all my V series fans, and yes, we are still waiting for our next V call, because if Premium can get a whole month for itself, so can we. Today I'm talking about an old deck that I used to play in V that got support in the last V collection, or at least one of the last few V collections, and it stopped getting support. That's Witches. And you may be wondering why I'm talking about Witches now, despite getting zero direct support, either through the Right Fix promo or the new Shield promos, which you can pick up by playing V tournaments. I mean, Bushiroad is now having official Japanese V tournaments, which is hooray! But the issue is also that, we do need a V call this year, or at least some V products, so I really hope that Kinani picks up the ball on that. Today I'm talking about Witches because recently while replaying this deck, I've really enjoyed this deck once again. I feel that Witches now in this current format, now that more interesting decks are coming up, I feel that Witches is a deck that actually has a chance to be played and is one of the most fun Oracle Think Tank decks in my opinion. It's just that, because V has so many decks, you can't really represent them all, right? So today I'm here to show you one of them, which is Witches. So for our grade 3s, we play 4 copies of Benoit Witch Yo-Yo. We play 4 copies of Wisteria Witch Zozo and 2 copies of the iconic Scarlet Witch Coco. It's very similar to my previous Witch deck profile, so you can check it out in the link in the description, but the reasons and how you play this deck has kind of changed to me, which is why I'm doing this video, right? There is a defensive right and a offensive right option. So I'll cover the defensive one, which is Scarlet Witch Coco, which is the very first witch in Vanguard, I believe. When ridden from a grade 2, you draw a card. Yeah, it's not bad. Count Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, grade 3, you can draw 2 cards. Discard any number of cards with witch in their names, and you can get protects back equal to the number of cards you discarded. So, as you can guess, it's a Witches deck, right? So, what a surprise. Count Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, draw 2 cards is really good. But it has to be a Soul Blast of grade 3, which is not very good. Then again, the Witch support that comes out in the future over the past 5 years does support this ability pretty well. So don't sleep on this just yet. This skill is not as bad as you think it is. And then it trades any number of witches from your hand into protects. Keep in mind, you can trade them for protect tools, which means you can just install as many protect tools as you want, which is really nice. You can spam protect tools and get large numbers for huge offensive push, or you can trade them out for protect ones to get nice little perfect guards in hand, which is not bad. So either of which you go for Coco is not bad options. However, Coco is generally the more defensive right, because you don't really do anything offensively with Coco. Then again, that's totally fine because of the nature of this grade 3 and why the Witches deck is so interesting to me in my opinion. And that is through Benoit Witch Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo skill is a Vanguard and a front row rearguard skill, which is I think one of the first few, or if not the first time in Vanguard's history, your boss monster can be on the rearguard. At the end of the battle that your Vanguard with Witch in its card name attacked a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, if it's the first battle of the turn with 1, Counter Blast 1, discard 2 cards from your hand, choose 1 grade 3 Witch in its card name from your hand, and write it as stand. Yep, you get a restand ability during the battle phase, and Yo-Yo doesn't even need to be the Vanguard. It's amazing. Like, what? Like, how did it I'm amazed. Seriously, it's like it's like saying Raging Form doesn't need to be Raging Form. It's bloody amazing. So I can go into Coco or I can be Zozo, and it doesn't matter because, as long as I just have Yo-Yo around on the rearguard circle, I can just keep rewriting and attacking, stacking protect markers, getting multiple attacks in. It's amazing. It's just that good. But Yo-Yo isn't just a good Vanguard or rearguard. She has another skill. When this unit is rolled upon, you can call this card to your rearguard circle, or you can get an imaginary gift, protect. So if she's the Vanguard that you re-roll upon, you can either call her out to a rearguard circle, which means you can use a skill next turn from the front row rearguard circle, or if you want, you can just keep her in the soul and then you just get a protect, which is amazing. I can't specify it enough. I think the only downside to Yo-Yo is that she just doesn't give you much numbers, but numbers is solved by Zozo. See how well this deck works? Zozo is also from DBTO3, but she was recently reprinted in V-Call. So yeah, not that bad. When this unit attacks, reveal any number of protect from your hand, and 3 of your front row units gain 5 until end of turn for each card reveal. So Zozo encourages you to play Protect 1 because you can just flip out all your protects. If you have like 4, there you go. Your whole front row gains 20 free of charge. And it's a Vanguard skill, so she has to be the one that you rewrite into. You generally, what you can do is that you can have Zozo attack, then use the skill Yo-Yo from the rearguard circle. You go either into another Yo-Yo, or you can just go into another Zozo, and then the madness just infinitely scales from there. Because Zozo's power buff is until the end of the turn for 3 of the front row units. So that means your front row Yo-Yo, or let's say one of your grade 2 rearguards in the front row, can already gain 20k, and then if you do this attack twice, it's 40k. So like, just putting it out there, that's just how good this card is. But Zozo is really just numbers, that's all it is to her, and she has to only work on the Vanguard circle, so you generally will keep her in the hand so that you can use her for Yo-Yo's rewrite. That's about it that I can say. Or you can write her first and have a Yo-Yo if you have another Wisteria with Zozo in your head, then it kind of works from there. The issue is also that it does scale according to your protects, because you do need protects to play the game, but you're holding it on to it as an offensive advantage point. So it's nice that some of your cards do give you protects for free, so you're not just restricted to one protect button, but you will have to manage your protects to scale it into a higher number of power that you can trade off for perfect guards, which is always wonderful. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, count last 1, draw a card. This is a skill on both the Vanguard and rearguard circle, so yeah, but you always want to write Zozo because Zozo's power effect is only applicable from the Vanguard circle. Now that I've covered the grade 3s and pretty much shaped how this entire deck goes, we'll talk about our grade 2s very quickly. And you will see from the rest of this deck onwards that the whole point of this deck is to support the 3 grade 3s and how they generally play out. So yeah, we play 4 copies of Cobalt Witch Poo. I'm sorry, she looks really beautiful, but I killed the name for sure. We play 4 copies of Sea Blue Witch Nini, N-I-N-I. They're puns, okay, they're puns. And then last but not least, our last witch is going to be Jade Witch Tete. I have no idea who named this, and we're only playing this one in a tree. So let's break it down real quick. Tete, when discarded from your hand during your turn, if you have a Vanguard Witch in its name, so blast 1, you can call it to the rearguard circle. But it has to be during your turn, which really sucks, so you can't use this for like a protect cost, but you can use this for either 1, Yo-Yo's restand ability, or you can use it for 2, discarding them for Scarlet Witch Coco to trade her into a protect, and then you call her back to the rearguard circle. Wonderful! It's a really nice way to recur that is a bit limited, but I mean it's still really wonderful. When this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle, choose any number of Sentinels from your hand, discard it. This unit gains 20,000 shield until the end of that battle for each card revealed, each card discarded. So you can discard your regular Sentinels, you can also discard your Protects, which means a lot, because your Protects is just a normal perfect guard, right? You place it down, you discard 1, the attack is nullified. But what happens if you don't really want to use them as Protects, or even worse, you can't, right? So the thing is that because this card it is a grade 2, so it can actually intercept. Whereas if your opponent is just not allowed to guard from the hand, they just can't cast their protects at all. So with Tete, you can effectively work around this by just discarding the protects and giving you 20k shield, which generally speaking is more than enough to stop the whole attack. If you discard like 3 protects, that's 60k shield, that's virtually a perfect guard. So yeah, but this is the more niche applications of Tete, so I don't always use her, which is why she's only at a 3. But she's still a very good card, so you should still play her. The next one on the list is gonna be Sea Blue Witch Nini. Nini, during your main phase, if you have a Vanguard with Witch in its card name, this unit gets grade +1 in the soul. So what happens is that it's only during the main phase, so you can just, I write Coco, and then Coco will not lose out to this effect because you rolled on top of a grade 2, so you can still draw. Then in the main phase, she transforms into a grade 3 in the soul. You can then soul blast her out, and then you draw 2 cards, which is really nice. So you would need to actually know how this card works. It's just another grade 3 soul, but she can also cheese herself into the soul. What do I mean? You can put this unit into your soul, literally. Look at the top 3 cards in your deck and put them on top of the deck, in any order. So she can easily rearrange the deck at a -1. But she's not exactly a -1 because she's a grade 3 in the soul, which counts very nicely for Coco. So I would only recommend you to use Nini if you are going to actually go into Coco. But generally speaking, she doesn't do you much offensively besides rearranging the top 3 cards, but it's at a -1. Although it does help the soul, which we do actually have a fair bit of cards that use soul, you will see later, it's still a -1. So you would want to keep that in mind. This card is still really good. You still play it at 4, but I would recommend you not to be too reliant on it. Last one is Cobalt Witch Poo, which I really like a lot. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle by running top of a grade 1, discard a card from your hand and you get a protect. Did you know that this skill is completely generic, which means you can play this in any Oracle Think Tank deck, and that is a free protect on the house. Oracle Think Tank premium players, why are you not playing this against Gastille? What are you doing? Where are you going? Here you go. So it's a really good effect because all you have to do is just run on top of grade 1, which I mean you obviously will. You just discard, you can swap it out for a protect. Keep in mind, as long as you discard, you will trigger the skill of Tete. So you can see how mad this deck can go, how much synergy we can actually cough up. But it's only going to get worse. When this unit attacks, reveal one or more sentinels from your hand, and this unit gets 5,000 power until the end of the battle for each card revealed. So not only can this card be a very good grade 2 right target to get you an additional protect, when this unit attacks, you can just flip number of protects in your hand and she will power up. She's basically another Zozo again. So if Zozo reveals 3 protects, the front row gains 15. You use her effect and flip again, she herself gains 15, which is a 30k buff to herself by doing absolutely nothing. It's amazing. It hops over a lot of defensive, it hops over heal guardians, it hops over virtually a lot of things in this meta that you use for protection, which is nice. So that's why Poo is definitely at a 4. We're going to cover our grade 1s real quick, so let me just put them all out here. You can see they're all witches. This deck is very, very affordable to build. I could build this under, I think, less than 2,000 yen or even 1,500 yen. It's totally not even an issue anymore for me. Moving on to our grade 1s. Our grade 1s, in order of the cards I've laid out, we have Sprout Witch Roro. She was from VBTO3, sorry. Then we have 4 copies of this one. This is Citrine Witch Momo, which is a really good card. And then last but not least, we have a vanilla just as a tech option. And that is Lime Witch Rere. Lime Witch Rere is just a 7k, 15k shield. So she's nice. She's basically an additional 4 triggers. You don't ride her and stuff, but you can ditch her for your protects, or you can just use her as a fast shield for the early game. For those of you who are familiar with Hexorb Sorceress in D series, this is basically the same as Hexorb Sorceress's 15k card. So for all my Hexorb fans watching, hello, I have not forgotten you. Moving on to one of the most important new witches of this era is going to be this girl. This is Citrine Witch Momo. When rolled upon by a unit with Rich in its name, draw a card. So yeah, it's a +1 for free. Just ride and play the deck. There's no joke. It's just a +1. And then the second skill is you can solo +1 and rest this unit. It's activated skill on rearguard circle. You can look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 3 with witch in their card names among them. You can reveal the 3 witches. Choose 1 from these revealed cards, put it into your hand, then you shuffle the deck. If you are not able to reveal 3 cards, then you put this unit into the soul. Now, the thing is that you can reveal up to 3 witches and then choose any one of them and add to the hand. But if you're not able to reveal 3, you put it into the soul. However, as long as you're able to reveal 1 witch, you can just add that witch to your hand. It's just that you will lose Momo because she goes to the soul. So you can basically have her on the board every turn as an advantage gainer, and she'll just pop off as soon as possible. Just keep search. She's one of the main advantage engines of this deck, which is why you do want to mulligan her for as early as turn 1. It's just that good. She does implement a little element of luck, because from your top 5 you need to always hit 3 witches, which is, doesn't always happen. But I would say that she's definitely very good, because as long as you can use her once or twice, it solves the deck already. It gives you so much advantage that it puts you way ahead. It gives you enough offensive and defensive pieces to put you ahead of the game so you can win. Main reason why I'm redoing this video is because I believed I actually read this card wrong in my previous video. So I wanted to make sure that moving on to the new year, and since everyone wants to hear me talk about V, I wanted to talk about this deck a lot, because this is a deck that actually, upon reviewing and testing again in modern time, it's very fun. Last but not which, last but not least, one of our oldest witches is this one, Sprout Witch Roro. When they attack this unit booster, hit a Vanguard, counterblast 1 and move this to the soul, and you can draw a card. So it cycles itself for counterblast 1 as long as the attack hits. That's not bad. When you grade 3 a greater witch in its card name is placed, you can soul blast 1 and call this card from your soul to your Vanguard circle. Now, it's when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with witch in its card name is placed on your Vanguard circle during any time, which means you can do it during the battle phase. That's just how good this deck is. They've thought of every scenario at this point. Like, your grade 1s help you with advantage, your grade 2s help you with facilitation, your grade 3s are your win con. Like, why is this deck so good? Moving on to our grade 0s. Our grade 0s, we will play 4 heals. We're going to play 4 regular heals here because we actually want some early game CB, so we're okay with taking that. Heal Guardians, normally, I mean, they're great defense cards and you should still play them, but for me, because I'm focusing on taking a bit of CB early on and then stalling the games it protects, I will take normal heals. But we do play 12 crits. We get enough hand size and enough pieces that we want to cheese the game. Since we are basically playing Dragonic Overlord the Cross just on the rearguard circle, yeah, I mean, it's perfectly fine to play 12 crits because we want to crit them out and win. This is Oracle Think Tank. We gotta win in the most degenerate way possible. And then we play 1 starter. And yes, that wraps up my Witches deck profile for 2024. Yeah, I'm really glad I was given a chance to cover this deck again because, very frankly, I am very, very busy right now. I really didn't know if I would get the chance to even cover a deck profile again. But seeing V tournaments come back officially under Bushiroad's hand, it makes me really happy. I'm really glad to see these tournaments. I really hope they grow. I really hope people attend and play it. And I hope they have fun, most importantly. You know, V is the only format left without an overtrigger. Say what you want about Premium, even though they just got their Harmonix Messiah reprint, which is very good, by the way. I'm very happy as well. But there's always going to be something about V that you can't exactly change. You know, it doesn't feel like a D series at all because D has energy and ride decks and God knows what and shadow armies and everything. And then, you know, P has absolute complete nonsense of a meta, but V just feels right nicely in that safe spot where it's not that bad, not that good. And you know what? It's just nice. It feels the most authentically Vanguard because of the lack of random, wonderful mechanics that we are gifted through new design space, and I really enjoy it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please, you know, leave a comment. If you want to see more V videos, I will try my best. I'm very, very strapped for time by Divines, but I can guarantee you that if I get the chance to talk about another V deck that you really want to see, I will try my best. Okay, it's a promise from me that I will talk about it if I have it, if I have access to it, if I can test it. You will see it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Take care.